Ayubowan, Vanakkam. I'm Vioni Dimel. This is Boston Lanka News, bringing you news, views and entertainment from Boston and USA. Channel 4 has a lot of explanation to do. Let's sort out facts from fiction. Sri Lankan community in Southern California comes together to support the Foundation of Goodness to empower the rural communities in Sri Lanka. Americans in Florida embrace the Sri Lankan drumming and dance. Sri Lanka Killing Fields, a documentary film shown by Channel 4 TV station in UK, has been hailed by some as a creation of investigative journalism, while others condemned as a biased and factually flawed, shameful media production. Now, with the new documentary film released by the Sri Lanka Defence Ministry titled Lies Agreed Upon, many questions have risen, not only about the content of the film, Sri Lanka Killing Fields, but also about the motives and the agenda of those who collaborated with the Channel 4 in making their documentary film to tarnish the image of Sri Lanka. Why a reputed news channel like Channel 4 would risk its credibility and reputation to broadcast a factually incorrect documentary film? Could it be some interest groups deceived the Channel 4? Some examples.
News that the UN's international staff were leaving spread quickly, and crowds of frightened Tamil civilians besieged the UN base.
They were really pleading with us, as the UN, as the international community. Please don't leave.
Protest shown in the film Killing Fields against UN officials leaving North was not a spontaneous protest, but a coordinated effort stage-managed by LTTE.
And you can hear the bullets, sort of the fighting, the gun sounds and everything. Then people will realize, well, that's it, they're close enough, that now is the time for us to move.
Vani Kumar was a young English Tamil woman who had left London to spend 6 months with relatives in Sri Lanka.
Vani Kumar, the key eyewitness shown by the Channel 4 in its documentary as a humanitarian miracle worker, was a trained LTTE fighter who was close to the LTTE leadership, according to the new documentary of the Sri Lankan Defence Ministry. Tamil doctors who served in North during the final stages of the war disputes Channel 4 allegations. The numbers of the casualties in the war were inflated by the Channel 4. Tiger propagandists were portrayed as independent media personnel. How could a reputed TV network broadcast such stories without checking their sources? What is the motive of the Channel 4 to continue to target Sri Lanka as the worst human rights violator in the entire world? Did Channel 4 question and challenge the United States of America when American Special Forces went to a foreign country and killed unarmed Osama bin Laden in front of his wife and children without any knowledge of the government of that country and then dumped his body to the sea? Where was Channel 4 then? But again, that's how the civilized world treats terrorist leaders who are mass murderers. The ending of the civil war in May 2009 has provided many new opportunities in northern Sri Lanka. Having achieved such wonderful success in the southern village of Senigama after the tsunami, the Foundation of Goodness is now seeking to replicate the model in this previously troubled part of the country. Sri Lanka America Association of Southern California and Sri Lanka Foundation are having a charity gala fundraiser in aid of Foundation of Goodness. From devastation to development, determined to make a difference, striving for excellence. These are the guiding principles of the Foundation of Goodness, started in 1999 by Kushil Gunasekara along with cricket legend Muthaiya Muralidharan and few others to empower the less privileged rural communities. Mohan Chandra Mohan, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the American Reprographics Company, is the key organizer in this event. Mr. Chandra Mohan joins with us from Los Angeles. Mr. Chandra Mohan, you are instrumental in organizing the Charity Gala fundraiser with the Sri Lanka America Association of Southern California and Sri Lanka Foundation to support the Foundation of Goodness in Sri Lanka. Could you please tell us how you became interested in supporting the work of the Foundation of Goodness?
When Ajit Dias, who is a very good friend of mine and a prominent businessman in Colombo, introduced me to Kushil Gunasekara, who is the founder and lead trustee of the Foundation of Goodness. Kushil appealed to me for my help to organize a fundraiser in Los Angeles for the Foundation of Goodness. He said that the funds would be used principally to advance the Foundation of Goodness's latest initiative in the north of Sri Lanka in a community called Mankulam. So after I finished my conversation with Kushil, it was by telephone. It was a telephone introduction. Murali called me right on the heels of that. So Kushil must have told Murali that he had a conversation with me. So Murali called me. And Murali, as you know, is also a long-standing trustee of the Foundation of Goodness. So basically, Murali also essentially talked about the same thing with me. He was seeking my help to organize an event in LA that would contribute substantially to the Foundation of Goodness's new endeavor in Mankulam. So I did some research. What I discovered was an organization that was doing exemplary work in southern Sri Lanka, specifically in a village called Sinigama and its surrounding communities. The foundation is truly a grassroots organization whose primary mission is the alleviation of poverty in the rural communities of Sri Lanka. And to that end, the foundation it was founded in 1999. So in its 12-year history, it has developed a sustainable, community-based social model that, among other things, educates poor children, empowers women, and basically improves the lot of the people. So needless to say, I was very impressed. First, with the commitment, the compassion, and the dedication of Murali and Kushil. And then, of course, I was very, very impressed with the fabulous work of the Foundation of Goodness. So I was highly inspired and motivated, to help this organization in whatever way I can, and hence the Gala fundraising event in Los Angeles.
We know that you have a very ambitious goal for this fundraiser, and also you have some important guests coming from Sri Lanka to attend this event. Could you please share some of that information?
Absolutely. Now, in terms of, first let me talk about the important guests who are coming, and then I'll talk about what our goals are for the Foundation of Goodness. We have a number of people coming from afar, not just from Sri Lanka. They are coming from England and various parts of the US, Canada, and so on. People who are committed, who really want to help this cause because they understand what this means to Sri Lanka. And among the celebrities who are coming are, one, Muthaiya Muralidharan, the best bowler that the cricketing world has ever seen. Aravinda De Silva, who was the most valuable player in the 1996 World Cup finals. Sanath Jayasuriya, who was the most valuable player for the 1996 World Cup series, the entire series. And then, of course, Kushil Gunasekara, who is the founder and, like I said, lead trustee of the foundation. We certainly need all their star power to make this a highly successful event because they are a great draw. People want to come and shake hands with Murali. They want to shake hands with Sanath and Aravinda. And by the way, these are all people who are very close friends of mine. Aravinda, my relationship with Aravinda goes way back, a couple of decades. And I met Sanath for the first time during the World Cup of 1996, and he's become a very close family friend. And when I called them, they all agreed readily. Sanath is coming to the US on the 11th, all the way from Sri Lanka, and is returning on the 14th. He's barely on the ground for less than 72 hours, and he's coming here to support it. So we're having a fantastic turnout as far as celebrities are concerned. Now let me talk about what our ambition or goal is. See, our primary objective here in having this fundraiser, because we thought about it and we deliberated over how should we go about making this a sustainable effort. So our primary objective is to bring together the Sri Lankan expatriate community in Southern California and acquaint them with the Foundation of Goodness. Now, I didn't know anything about the Foundation of Goodness until Ajit Dias introduced me to Kushal Gunasekara. I had no idea such a foundation existed, and I had no idea they were doing the kind of fabulous work. So similarly, I'd like to create an opportunity, an event where we can do the same with others in Southern California, apprise them of the fantastic work the foundation is doing, the foundation's history, its work during the post-tsunami years, the successful communities it has established in Sinigam, and its latest initiative in Mankulam. Once I am convinced, and I believe that once they learn about the organization and its mission, they too will become convinced that it is a worthy cause that all Sri Lankans should support. But we will make every endeavor to raise as much money as possible at this event, and we like it to be in the six-figure number. That is our goal as far as this particular event is concerned. But this event is only a first step. Let's call it a coming out party for the Foundation of Goodness. It's a coming out party for something good that we can all come together and do in Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Mr. Chandra Mohan. That was Mr. Chandra Mohan from Los Angeles. The Boston-based Sri Lankan drum troupe Panchathurya will be touring Florida this weekend. The troupe will perform at the Sarasota Orchestra's Beatrice Friedman Symphony Center this Saturday night, as well as in several Clearwater venues over the weekend. 16-member drum troupe will be performing in Florida under the leadership of Dr. Arjuna Balasurya. For the Florida tour, the troupe will be joined by an American jazz musician. While Dr. Balasurya directs the drumming, a protege, Shanki Jayavikrama, handles the choreography. We join with two key organizers of the Florida tour, Rose Lettier and Linda Eva. Linda, this is the second time the Panchathurya drum troupe will be performing in Florida. Could you please tell us a little bit about the response to their last year's performance and the preparations for this weekend?
Okay. Last year we were absolutely thrilled and delighted to have the spiritual Panchathurya drum troupe come to Sarasota, Florida. We had them perform at Unity Church of Sarasota, and we had a full house of people who absolutely loved and enjoyed their spiritual journey of the heart through the medium of their ancient form, that they produce these unique sounds that, from my perspective, transform all barriers to peace. Their dance movements and choreography absolutely displays the joy from their heart and soul, and everyone was extremely delighted, and when they finished their performance, we had a standing ovation, and they didn't want to let them off the stage.
Yes, we decided the Symphony Hall would be wonderful for them this year. So they're performing at the Beatrice Friedman Symphony Center. The acoustics are wonderful, and I think they're going to be wonderful in there. We're very excited about them coming back, and I think everybody's really looking forward to seeing them.
Yes, and the Symphony Hall, we have world-class performers that come from all around the world. Itzhak Perlman and big names who perform in that Symphony Hall. It's a very, very, very prestigious place for them to be, and we are proud to present them here in Sarasota.
what would be your expectation by organizing this Sri Lankan drum and dance performance to the American public in Florida?
To open their perspectives to new ancient cultures that hold peace at the top priority in their heart and soul. Last year, when Sri Lanka finally, through many years of fighting with terrorists and came to peace, Bhante was telling us about this spiritual dance troupe who through their body, sound, and motion exude peace. And he presented that to me, and we all got very excited. So last year, Bhante Dhammawansha came to Sarasota, Florida, and we inaugurated the String of Peace, is the special ceremony in light of the foundation for the prayers that were linked up in Sri Lanka. And we, the American populace, embraced it thoroughly, and I'm still wearing my String of Peace as a reminder for world peace and to keep love in our hearts. So the Dhamma Wheel Meditation Society, again this year, has sponsored the Sri Lankan drumming and dance troupe.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Linda. That was Rose and Linda joined us from Florida. Commenting to the Sarasota Sunday Herald newspaper, Dr. Balasurya said, "I dream that we can use the collaboration in different ethnic communities that have friction. I am a strong believer that music is a nice tool to bring different ethnicities together." That concludes our news edition. We meet you again with another news edition of News, Views and Entertainment from Boston and USA. Till then, goodbye.